Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for being here. Today we're going to be talking about when not to trade, especially when we're trading in a range, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that on the charts. So let's get right to it. I did not take a trade today, but I'll kind of explain why that was, and you guys will definitely agree with me. Who knows, like maybe we'll see some more price movement in the afternoon, but this morning I was not like in the price action. So let's start on the daily chart. Beautiful. All right, so as we can see right now, like we're inside of Monday's range. Like we haven't taken out the high on Monday, we haven't taken out the low on Monday. Seeing that right there, I was like, okay, like this could potentially just be a very consolidating day until we do take out the low or the high, and we might not even do that till tomorrow. So just being in mind that, hey, we're inside of Monday's candle right now. Yes, we did trade down into this daily fair value gap. Yes, I did want to see the markets continue to push higher, but the fact that we're still inside of Monday's daily range is just bad news. So this is why we don't take a trade, and if we would have seen something, sure, but it was simply not worth it today. So let's drop down to the 1 hour. All right, so we're on the 1 hour now. What I wanted to show you guys was this range right here. So Monday's high, Monday's low. Look at how we've stayed in this range all morning. I mean, we've just been staying in this range. So what I did was I drew a horizontal line and made it yellow so that I could see at the 50% of the range. If we were gonna buy, I would have liked to see a buy below the 50%. I do like this 1 hour kind of order block here, so I marked that out. After 9:30 a.m. open, we traded all the way down. We traded into this 1 hour order block, and then of course the small 1 hour fair value gap, which is also a 15-minute fair value gap. So, but then we seen this kind of wick happen, and I was like, okay, like potentially we could see maybe a buy setup. But again, when I saw this range, I was like, okay, we're either going to have a very slow delivery today, or it's probably just best to not even trade. So we decided on the later, and we were just going to watch the market and see what happened. But that's kind of where I'm getting my range from, marking out the high to the low, and then this yellow line right here is the 50% of that range. Let's drop down to the 15-minute. Again, pre-market, we seen like this kind of, we took out this low here, we traded back into this fair value gap up here, and then we just shot down and came down into this fair value gap, taking out this low here. So then I was kind of looking for some buy side to be taken. We do have this small high taken out, which would have been a nice trade. I'll show you guys like that trade that I was looking at. But I think what really got me was we didn't take out Monday's low, and we were going lower on the ES and the Dow, and we were going higher on the DXY. So we didn't really have that confluence. But I'll show you what I was looking at for that trade there. But now we left these relative equal highs, and of course we have these relative equal highs up here. So the fact that we're kind of still grinding down is a little suspect to me. We'll see what happens in the afternoon, but I did want to see the market drive higher today. Let's drop down to the 5-minute. Beautiful. Again, pre-market, we came all the way down here, took out this low, which was nice to see, traded into a higher time frame, 15-minute fair value gap. Beautiful. Then we see like some displacement taking place. We did have a stop here, filling in this fair value gap, but we didn't take out this high yet before coming back down. And I did like this trade because it was below the 50% of that daily range that I pointed out, and we wanted to see the market move higher. So our daily bias was highs. We wanted to see the market drive higher. We could have taken this trade, but again, like in conditions like this, it's almost not worth taking a trade, especially because it is Tuesday and we still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to trade. And personally, like my trading, I realized something when I was back testing is, hey, you don't trade every day. Like it's crazy, but don't take a trade every day because the optimal setups that you want to be in don't happen every single day. And I've kind of learned to cope with that and learn with that. And because of that, I decided that we weren't going to take a trade today, and we'll kind of see what the market wants to do tomorrow. Now, but I will show you guys this trade because it was, if the market conditions were different, or if we were trending, or even if the ES was going higher and the DXY was going lower, then potentially. But again, we didn't even take out our ultimate drawn liquidity, and we left relative equal highs. So that in itself is like, yeah, we're totally in a range right now. So let's drop down the 1 minute. Beautiful. All right, so I liked this trade because, again, we couldn't get in here because that entry would have been 9.59, so we just kind of waited. I wanted to see what the market would do, and then to get our risk to R, we wanted this high taken. Again, it only came up to this high before turning around. Now, why I like this trade was this is actually a higher time frame, the 1 hour order block. So yes, we did trade down into that 15-minute fair value gap, but we still like this level here because on the 1 hour, the bodies were respecting this level, and this is just a wick on the 1 hour. And again, like we see like we have like this break of market structure here, we have displacement, fair value gap, again, break of market structure here, displacement, fair value gap, could have entered in on here. Of course, then the markets did come back down back into this fair value gap right here. And if we look at this run right here, it came back down to that 79% level. Plus, the reason I like this trade was because we would be entering below that 50% of that daily range. So we're actually in a discount here, aiming for a premium. And I did like how this body right here respected this 1 minute order block. And then we did just wick down into this fair value gap because we hadn't traded into this fair value gap yet. I'll kind of show you guys the one that we didn't trade into. There's actually two there, you see that? So there's this one from this high to this low, but we have another one from this high to this low. So I kind of just marked them out as one, you know, just to make it simpler, but we did trade down into that second one beautifully, I might add. Like, look at that. And then we had a little wick out down into that 1 hour order block, and then boom, we traded higher, taking out this high. Again, I wanted to see like the relative equal highs taken out, but as you can see from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., we just kind of ranged, and not fun. And if I would have held that trade, I mean, I would have still been in the trade, and it's coming against me now, right? So these are all really good reasons on why I wanted to just stay out of the market today, because it's almost just not worth it, not worth the risk. If you're risking 1% of your account, is it really worth the 1%? Like, we got to think about these risks in a sense where it's like, hey, like the market conditions aren't great and I'm going to take a trade anyways. Like, I don't want to do that when the market conditions are in my favor, and then I'm willing to risk that 1%. But always making sure you're thinking about the risk, not the reward, because once you switch your mindset into, hey, I'm willing to risk the 1%, it's a lot better than thinking, hey, I'll make 2% on this trade right now, because you get into some really silly trades. Like, again, today it looks like a nice trade, but the fact is we're in a range, and as you can see, it's just kind of consolidating back and forth, and the indices weren't lining up and the DXY wasn't lining up. So I was like, okay, this is not worth the risk for me. Anyways, that is all from me. I hope you got something from this video. And what do you guys think of the new chair? It's like a total gaming chair, am I right? Like, it's so big. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this video. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.